All right, hey again. Now that I just talked about Russell Wilson, the other tragedy this week. My week just keeps getting better, right? PSG. I was born in Paris. Um, I've been, Paris Saint Germain fan ever since I can remember, and well, as you guys know, big win by Madrid, 3-1. Um, Big comeback. They win 3-2 on aggregates, and once again, PSG just collapses in the Champions League. It's crazy. I mean, you're up 2-0 on aggregates. I think it's the fourth time in 10 years where they're up 2-0 on aggregates. They were up at least 2 goals on aggregates, and they just collapse and get eliminated. There was the Chelsea incident, there was the Barcelona incident, there was the Manchester United incident, now there's this incident. So, um, yeah. As a PSG fan, man, it's frustrating. Like, it, and you could tell. I mean, I think it's so upsetting for PSG fans, but I mean the owner. I mean the owner's like Nasser Al Khelafi. He tries to go downstairs, meet the referees to complain about the calls, and you can just tell the guy just really he has no explanation for what he just saw, and he just I mean he just tries to find any kind of scapegoat that he can, and in this case it's the referee. Look, was there a foul on Donnarumma? I mean, it's debatable, right? It's like, I think you could say it's 50-50, maybe less. I don't think it was an egregious play or non-call or anything. And I'm a huge PSG bias fan. Well, do I think it was a foul? Yeah. Do I think that's why they got eliminated? Heck no. Like, there's no way. At that point, it's still 1-1. But they had a complete mental meltdown, right? You got Messi on the field. You got Mbappe on the field. You got Neymar on the field. You got Verratti on the field. You got Marquinhos on the field. You have Hakimi on the field. You have Donnarumma, one of the best goalkeepers on the field. Right? You got all that. They're up 2-0 on aggregates. And they just completely collapse. And I don't even think look, let's give credit where credit is. Karim Benzema, my gosh. Like, I'm French, and I mean I've never seen him like this on a national team. I mean, he played pretty good in the last Euros, even though we didn't play very well. But my gosh, I mean that was just lightning, and I mean lightning struck in 15 minutes. I mean just that was great. Like I like Karim Benzema because he's French, but I was really hardcore against Real Madrid in that game for sure. And there's players I like on Real Madrid. Obviously I love Karim Benzema. I love Modric. The French guy Camavinga who came on. Um, and then I love their coach Carlo Ancelotti. I think he's one of the best coaches ever to do it. I think he's vastly underrated as a coach. I don't know why he's not in the all-time great coach discussion. He's won a lot of Champions League. He's won them for different clubs. He's had some success everywhere he's gone. I think he's vastly underrated as a coach. Brilliant dude. I mean, the way he handles egos is exactly what PSG needs. That's the thing that's driving me nuts. We had Carlo Ancelotti as the coach, and we got rid of him way too prematurely. Since then, we've had we had Laurent Blanc. Man, that didn't work. Then we had Emery. That didn't work. Then we had Tuchel. That didn't work. And now we have Pochettino. It's even worse. And all those guys are very good coaches. All those guys are very good coaches, but it just you got Neymar, you got Messi, you got Mbappe, you got Verratti. I mean, in the city of lights, in the city of love in Paris, it's like these guys, man. Like same thing with Wijnaldum. We recruited him from Liverpool. He comes here. I mean, you don't even recognize the guy. And there's so many players like that. They come to Paris and they just can't play. It's like it's like it's like the effect of like a player coming into a big city, but literally coming to Paris, it's like, I mean, I think it's the highest stress city maybe to play in, like in soccer. I don't know, maybe I'm exaggerating, but when you think about the context, right? PSG's never won anything in Champions League, right? So you'd be the first to do it. So there's a lot of pressure around that. Then the context of the fact that it's a huge city, it's like one of the capitals of the world. Then you look at all the money invested in the club, right? Then you look at the fact that they play in Ligue 1, they win it pretty much almost every year. So really, your season comes down to winning the Champions League or not, And then you look at how much it's easy to get distracted in Paris because it's such a fun city, right? It's kind of like going to the Los Angeles, but there's a greater magnitude to it. It's like you look at Neymar. He's not the same player he was at Barcelona, and he's always injured for PSG. He doesn't. There's a serious lack of motivation there for Neymar. Like there's a lack of professionalism. Like as much as I talk about the professionalism of Russell Wilson in the previous video, like Neymar's the opposite. I think Neymar's one of the most talented soccer players there are, but I mean, he's never going to fulfill it because he doesn't have the professionalism. It's a lot like, Ronaldinho was very similar to that. But yeah, so I was listening to Thierry Henry and Jamie Carragher after the game, and I thought they hit it heads on. PSG's had all these coaches. The problem isn't the coaching. The problem isn't the talent levels. They have plenty of talent on this team to go much further. The problem is that you have a president and you have a sporting director that they it's just a circus. Like there's no professionalism, and they don't allow the coach the power to do what needs to be done to discipline these guys, right? In the second half, you needed to bench either. You needed to move one of those players off the pitch around the 55th, 60th minute. Either Messi, when you're up 2-0, either Messi, either Mbappe, not Mbappe, but it would have, at least one of the three, or Neymar. It should have been Neymar. Neymar should have came off the pitch. If not Neymar, then it should have been Messi. Because they were walking, they looked tired, they looked disengaged, and you needed another midfielder to solidify it so you could play defense and counter better and all that. And I mean, after that Donnarumma goal, after that Donnarumma mistake, which it happens. I mean, you make a mistake. It is unexcusable, and it might have been a foul. But regardless, it's one. You're still up 2-1. There's no excuse for this meltdown afterwards. And they folded like a cheap tent. Like it was just the emotions of it. And then after the game, the only thing they talk about was the Donnarumma, the foul on Donnarumma. It's like, no. There's such major problems in this club in terms of structure. It's a circus. They never play hard in Ligue 1. They try to just turn on the switch. They try to turn on the switch when the Champions League comes on. And it doesn't work. I don't know how many games Neymar's played, but he's been hurt most of the season, it seems like. Look at Messi. I mean, Messi was out of shape. I mean, that's the craziest thing. Messi, arguably the greatest soccer player of all time, he comes to Paris, and he looks like, he just looks like another guy. I don't even recognize him. I mean, he was pretty good in that game. I mean, he had some key passes and all that, but I think in 24 matches, he's got 7 goals. Usually he's got at least 20 goals by now. This is what Paris does to very good players. Verratti, same thing. He cannot be a professional at PSG. Like, he was out clubbing, drinking, smoke. I mean, I don't know what he does. But there's just no professional hygiene there. And they just look emotionally just petrified when the pressure turns on. And year after year after year, it's the same story for PSG. And and I think, and not only that, but you lose to the team that Mbappe wants to go to, and now it's like now we're gonna lose the best player in the world in Mbappe, right? Now it's just like, man, just not good. And I mean, the way Modric played, though, the way Benzema played, I mean, it pissed me off. But you got to tip your hat. It was, I mean, those three goals by Benzema, I was just like, it just broke my heart. My heart was broken with the Russell Wilson thing. But I mean, it was just crushing, like soul crushing. Oh man, oh man, if I was a Real Madrid fan, I would enjoy that so much. So, I, uh, to just be crushed by one of your own fellow countrymen, like just the dagger. Yeah, it just hurt, man. There's no way around this. It just hurt. I don't know how we're gonna come back from this because, dude, I mean, the Qatari owners have invested so much. They should have invested the project around Mbappe. Instead, they got Messi. They invested Neymar. I mean, he's gonna leave. Mbappe's gonna leave. You're gonna have Neymar, who's, I mean, he doesn't look right. Just lack of professionalism, whatever it is. He just looks like he's aged so much since Barcelona. Like he looks half the player he was when we got him from Barcelona. Like every year, it's just like wow. Yeah, it doesn't look good. And then Messi. I mean, yeah. And then push Pochettino, right? Like push, like I mean, he was a great coach at Spurs. Tuchel was a great coach at Dortmund and won the Champions League year after. Emery, right? Great coach. I think it was for Sevilla. Then he comes to PSG, collapses. The famous, Barcelona comeback, La Remontada, and then he leaves and then he wins another title, the UEFA Cup. Right? Same thing with Carlo Ancelotti. All these coaches, they have success everywhere but at PSG. And it's just, it drives me nuts. And Pochettino was just on the bench. I mean, he didn't know what to do. He didn't know how to respond. It's like his team just got overwhelmed. He just lost it. Like, what? I don't know what he could have done. I think subbing out Paredes was a big mistake because even though he was on a yellow card, that triangle, like PSG was in control of that game for 60 minutes because you had Verratti, Paredes, Messi who dropped back in the middle, and even Neymar. And that ball was circulating, and they were just doing a great job. And then Paredes came off. There's less possession. And then Donnarumma. And they had trouble getting the ball out, and then Donnarumma. Oh, with that mistake. And then after that, it was just... I think that the old PSG demons of past collapses in Champions League just rose up, and they just all folded. All folded. And they're just... In Ligue 1, they're not used to that pressure. They're a little bit used to it in the group stages, but even then, I don't even use the pressure excuse because like Neymar's been in many big Champions League game. He's been the icon of a whole country in Brazil, like for World Cup. Like he's used to the pressure. And Messi, same thing. He's used to the pressure. Mbappe's always been clutch. There's no problem there. I mean, he scored. There's one goal. I'm not even sure. Like, it looked like he wasn't offside, but it was disallowed. And then the other goal that he scored, where he was offside, that one was disallowed for sure. I mean, both were disallowed. And he scored that other goal. But Mbappe was great. On the counters, he was great. Verratti disappeared in the second half. Modric just owned him. And then, and then Benzema was just, performance like that, just a man among boys. I mean, unreal what Benzema did. That was just wow. I've always been a Benzema fan. He's always been really good. Obviously, he had a few statistically tough years with Cristiano Ronaldo because he was really playing for Ronaldo, and then he had some trouble with the French national team. But the talent's always been there, and right now he's just putting it all together, and to be that physically fit at 33 or 34, and those three goals. It was just like, man. Just lightning just struck. How quickly that tide just turned. That's why emotions and mental fortitude and sports is just so important. the mental aspect of the game. And PSG had the talent. They were the better team for 90 plus 60, 150 minutes, and they just got owned. I mean, just destroyed in a matter of 15 minutes. So, anyways, to sum up, the big problem for PSG is I think they gotta. I think in terms of ownership, I mean, obviously, I'm grateful for the Qatari owners for the money and the investments they make, because they made PSG relevant again. But there has to be, you know, more accountability on the players, and it's got to, there's got to be more professionalism in that organization. I think you can't just make it about 3 games every year. Like I just feel like they put them, they let the players do everything they want, and then they expect to just for the Champions League that the professionalism is going to return and they're going to do what they want. And you can tell. I mean, Neymar, Messi, all those guys, they just thought they were going to every year. PSG just think they're just going to, flip that switch in the big games and it's going to work. And I think for teams that are not elite, I think against the teams that are they're not great or that are dysfunctional, it's going to work. I think it worked. The year they went in the Champions League final, they beat Dortmund, they beat Leipzig. I mean, those are very good teams, but they're not Real Madrid, and last year they beat Barcelona, who was really bad. So, I think they lost versus Man City right last year. So you saw that. I think versus the best clubs like the Real Madrids, the Barcelonas when they're working well, or the Bayern Munichs, they eliminated Bayern Munich too, which actually that surprised me because honestly Bayern Munich outplayed them. So, all in all, like Real Madrid's a very well coached team and they still have plenty of talent. Real Madrid's down. I don't think they're going to win the Champions League, but they're still a very good team. They're a very well coached team. There's still plenty of talent, and I think you cannot just try to flip the switch and rely on your individualities. Like there's no chemistry. Messi, Neymar, and Mbappe just haven't played enough games this year together to form that chemistry, and a lot of it has to do because Neymar is always injured because I don't know what the heck he does, when he's not playing soccer, and yeah. So, anyways, I think the PSG need to, it's good to spend money, but you need to have a solid project and a solid foundation to your project. I think they need to, Pochettino's gone. He's going to be gone for sure. They need to make some moves, but it needs to be made on. I think the Messi Neymar experiment hasn't worked, and you're going to lose Mbappe. So I don't know what you're going to do, but they need to focus on less star bling bling, but more just how this guy, how big of a professional this guy is on the field. They need professionals on the field, and they need to clean up that locker room and get serious guys who are really, dedicated to winning and wanting to be great and put a lot of heart in their craft, and. I think a lot of the players that come to Paris, they come a little bit to retire and enjoy Parisian life and enjoy French life, and and the thing about it is in France the culture is very different. It's not a work hard culture. It's a very relaxed culture and have fun and party and I think it's very tough for when foreigners come to France because they feel that culture and they want to relax and enjoy life, and I think that's a great thing. That's a beautiful thing. But the problem is when you're there's so much expectations about what you're being asked on the pitch, and you sign that contract for all this money and all that, and I think those two things are a little bit, they're going to conflict, right? Either you dedicate your time and passion to your craft or to enjoy life. And there's nothing wrong with either side, but you know, when you sign on that dotted line and you say certain things and then you don't live up to those, to what you're saying, because you're getting distracted with the Parisian life. I think, and yeah, I don't know. Something happens to those players when they come to PSG. They're not the same. And Messi's not. I look at Messi, and a lot of people are saying he's just gotten old. I, you know, I look at him. I still feel he's as capable as he was last year. He's not the 27-year-old Messi, but he wasn't the 27-year-old Messi last year. But he's had a hard time fitting with the PSG culture and the and within the team, and there's so many stars. They're not all gonna play for Messi like that was the case at Barcelona. I think he's had trouble with that, and to be honest, I'm not saying it's Messi's fault. I think it's as much as the team around him, because I think Messi is, probably with Ronaldo, one of the greatest, definitely of the modern era. They're the two greatest players, and so it makes sense that a team would be built around them, and but yeah, I think the PSG project is, man, they got a lot of work ahead of them. But yeah, I'm man, the Seahawks are crumbling. I don't know what's gonna happen in PSG, but yeah, I think PSG at least will bring in, if Mbappe leaves and Neymar and Messi leave, I think they'll bring in they're gonna do their best to bring in top talent to replace them. So I think PSG is gonna be okay. I don't think we're winning a Champions League anytime soon. At least not next year. I think, unless Mbappe stays. If Mbappe stays, then you got a shot. But and then maybe you bring in a coach like Zidane. But again, if I'm Zidane, I want no part of this project. Right? Like the egos on this team are just nuts. It's just nuts. As a coach, As a coach, you have no power to bench players. You can't impose your philosophy. As a coach, you're just like a puppet. You're just listening. You're just doing what the Qatari owners are telling you to do. You don't have control over anything, and the players kind of run their own show. They have no discipline. So it's like, as a coach, you can tell Mauricio Pochettino, he's just exhausted. Like he's exasperated. He doesn't know what to do because he can't do anything. All the things that would fix the situation, the players don't listen to, or the owners are afraid to do it. So yeah. Anyways, this video has gone on too long, but hey, thanks for listening, and we'll see how everything unfolds, and I'll keep you updated. And I'm just really grateful to be able to share these videos with you guys and talk about these subjects, because I'm super passionate about it. And man, I love, and recently my the Seahawks and PSG are my two biggest teams, my favorite teams, and they made huge news. So I'm really grateful to be talking about them. And yeah, although it's depressing, it's good that I can let my emotions out, and it's a therapeutic in a way. Honestly, it's really therapeutic in a way. So appreciate it. Anyways, hey, hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and hope life is good. And let's wish for this end to this Ukraine-Russian war, because that's been heavy on my heart too. So. And that's way more serious, obviously. So let's hope for the best in that situation. And, hey, best to everybody. Bye, guys.